Let's look at a sample ER verb. Comer means to eat. Now the structure of ER verbs is almost identical to that of AR verbs. We have our infinitive ending and our stem. And you'll notice the only difference is that our infinitive ending, in this case, has an E instead of an A. And again, this infinitive ending corresponds to the to of an English verb. So the process for conjugating ER verbs is identical to that for conjugating AR verbs. The only difference is the conjugation endings, which you will affix to the stem. So let's go through those now. Again, we pair them with subject pronouns. So yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, and ellos, ellas, ustedes. And you will notice additional similarities between the endings themselves. So for yo, the ending is o, just as it was for AR verbs. Tú, es, and you will notice similarities to the as of AR verbs. Él, ella, usted, e. Nosotros, nosotras, hemos. Vosotros, vosotras, es, accent on the E, and ellos, ellas, ustedes, en. So you can see there are a great number of similarities between the AR and ER verb conjugations. And now let's go through and conjugate comer in all forms. So the process is exactly the same as with AR verbs. First step, identify the subject and make sure it's a subject pronoun. Step 2, identify the verb and its stem. Step 3, choose the conjugation ending, making sure that it matches the subject pronoun that you determined. And step 4, add the ending to the stem. So like that. Alright, so for this example we already know our verb, comer, and we know what our stem is, C-O-M. So over here, actually we can just do it right in here. So we're just going to add our endings to our stem. Yo como, tú, stem, ending, tú comes, él, ella, usted, stem, ending, come, nosotros, nosotras, sorry I ran out of room, comemos, stem and ending, vosotros, vosotras, coméis, ellos, ellas, ustedes, comen. Okay, now let's take a look at some sentences in which the subject is not a subject pronoun and the verb is different from comer. So step 1 is to identify our subject. In example number 1, we see our subject is Julia, but that is not a subject pronoun that we can see up here, so we have to figure out what should replace it. Well, we see that we're working with a singular subject because there's only one. It's feminine because she's a girl. And we're speaking in the third person because we are not Julia and we are not speaking directly to her. Therefore, we need ella, she. Now let's take a look at our verb, which is beber and means to drink. So here we have to drop our infinitive ending to be left with our stem, like so. Step 3 is to choose our conjugation ending. So we see we're working with ella, and we go up and we see the ending is e. So we add that right onto the end of our stem. And we have Julia bebe, Julia drinks. Alright, now let's look at example number 2. So again we see that we have our subject, Marco y usted, and in this case our subject is plural, It's in the second person because usted means you, we're speaking directly to you. And it is masculine because one component is masculine. And finally, we should be working with ustedes rather than vosotros because usted is formal. Ustedes. Alright, and then step 2, our verb and stem. So we see our verb over here, aprender, which means to learn. And again, we're going to just drop our infinitive ending to be left with our stem. And then we need to choose our conjugation ending. So we see that for ustedes, the ending is en. So we drop that right onto our stem. And we have Marco y usted aprenden. Marco and you learn.